Hey friends, good morning, hello and welcome to another Prefect 99 live stream. Apologies, it's been a while, just schedule's been a bit busy and I haven't been able to get, well, sort my life out really to find enough time to get a stream on. So, I had thought about going real world flying today, but planes were booked up so I didn't get a chance. It's turned out to be quite a nice day actually. The weather here at Manchester is 1808 knots, varying at 080220, 10k or more with broken clouds at 2,800 feet. There's some towering cumulus about, but apart from that, it looks like quite a nice day, certainly VFR-able. And if we do a sector or two this afternoon after lunch, which I am hoping to do, then I thought it would be good practice. This is default Manchester. Just to improve the frames a bit, I have adjusted enhanced skyscapes a little, and the frames I think have dropped a little bit because the load that's increased. So the resolution of the clouds has increased. Let's see what it looks like. Of course, we've got Ortho and everything, and you see the clouds should look a little less grainy. There's still a little bit of grain there, but it's a lot less grainy than it was, and if that's too much of a performance hit, then I'm going to have to keep back. A couple of people have been asking online about circuits, how you fly them. I'll try and explain. If anyone is watching, please feel free to ask as we go along. Essentially what we are going to do is, I think, taxi to 23 right, which is the runway that is in use, and we'll take off, and then we'll actually go further out, do a left turn, and then we'll join 23 left so that we get out of people's way. In reality, that's going to be the takeoff runway if they end up on dual ops, which I doubt they will. There's only ground and delivery on at the moment. And the takeoff runway is ideal for circuits because if you're the only aircraft landing, the only traffic you've got to worry about is on the ground. Whereas if you're trying to slot in with instrument traffic, that becomes a whole nother kettle of fish. Ex-Europe, Ortho's on, all the good stuff. Weather's looking, like I say, quite good. Misty and hazy over there. Enhanced Skyscapes has had an update, I think. Or there's certainly another one in the pipeline. And the default scenery here is not too bad, to be honest. Aerosoft was just killing the frames a little bit, and there's a little bit of traffic around as well. So hopefully we won't get in their way. Be approaching to the other runway, which will give us the flexibility we need, and it will give us left-hand circuits as well, which are preferred. But of course, it's just going to be easier to get away, and we can definitely take the intersection here. I'm not going to do the performance. We will be relatively heavy with fuel, but we'll have full power and no payload. So happy days. Anyway, here's the aeroplane. Somebody's done some good work on this scenery. I don't even know what these things here are, but they are not bad. From a terminal again, somebody's put some good work into these. I know how difficult it is to do these, especially these little gaps here. You know, having done a little bit of the scenery stuff, as you can see, ground shadows and everything are on. That adds to the immersion, but it does make things a little bit stuttery. Anyway, without further ado, let's start getting in the aeroplane. It's completely cold and dark, and we are going to want to fuel up 15 tons, 0 payload. I can't do the performance takeoff because I have got VAS airplane toolbox. They've changed that. Anyway, let's get the battery on. Quick and dirty startup. No, nothing too special. And all the captions and everything. The doors are open. That's exactly what you expect. So takeoff config works. What I do have is a detent from using the Phenom, so I'm going to change my hardware over. I'd forgotten to do, but thankfully with the WARTHOG that does not. Literally takes a couple of seconds. There we go. Right. very good bit of kit. Good, that works. So what we are going to do is set the pressurization to effectively nothing, because we don't want the airplane pressurizing. And let's have a look at the frame rate. It's 35 with a bit of stutter. It's just as it drops down it seems to stutter. It's fine, we can pop the brake on. And let's get the IRS aligning. That gives us 8 or 9 minutes to get set up, which is a bit of a long time, but takes some fuel as well. Fuel damper can come on, cautions on, all on normal. I'm going to check the cross feed. We are going to have fuel in the centre tank. I'm just going to stay off for the moment. Ram power's on, cabin utilise impacts. They can in theory go off, but we'll leave them on. Chime only, belts off, wipers parked, niters right, stairs and doors, pumps can come on, cautions go out, window heat can come on. I'm not going to bother testing those. From there, set the AC up as we wish. There you go, that's the initial overhead done. So, ideal circuit height is 1500, which is 1700. I'm going to set 18, actually let's leave 21. We know it's 23 right, so it's 232 for departure. I will set up some nav aids. We can go to RTO test. Come on, what pressure we've got. We have already checked the takeoff config. Set that to 7010 for circuits. We make the code. It is actually 013 from the ATIS. So let's get the airplane.
Ground flight deck hose is connected and starting refueling.
You will need a push. Actually, I'll wait until they give us clearance. So there is delivery. I'm not going to speak to them because we don't need a departure clearance. Fuel is coming on and it's going to take a while. We've only got 4 tons at the moment, 11 tons of fuel. So how to set up, I think one of the questions was how to set up the FMC. Well, visual circuits you don't really need it, you only need to put the bare minimum information in. But there's a couple of things that we can do in the sim to help out. So AirAC data, nav data, AirAC cycle 21. September 22nd, 2110 is the cycle. It is valid to the 3rd. So that's fine. Grid Echo Golf Charlie Charlie. We are on stand 5-5, I believe. So there's no route, you can leave all of that blank. The FMC does need one waypoint to do a route, you don't need anything there. So route done, which means you have to go to takeoff limits here, 11 degrees, yes that's what the ATIS was giving us. Go to the perf, 0 fuel there. Plan 15 plus 43.1, 58.1. So having a look on the performance. Can tap that in. 51. Two, 3 right. Map optimum thrust. 26k, no assumed temperature. Metal. So we have a takeoff run required 1889. 76 tons. Reserves, I think we'll give ourselves 3 tons. Cost index of 30, not that it matters. And let's put 1800, let's just put 2000. It really matters, I'm not going to put the winds in. So it's going to be a flat 5 departure for us. Trim 5 and neutral, kind of. Yep. And 58.1, the calculator's giving very different figures. So 26k, yes. Side temperature 11, yes. 97.5, yes. Flap 5, right, so we've got flap 1, that's not what we want. Calculator, went for optimum flap. That's more like it, 28, 29, 40. That gives us 15. So we're going to use half the runway, which is pretty good. So, take 128. 29. And we can double tap that one. Go, we'll set 140. And that's that for departure. On the map we should get an extended runway centre line. 23 right for departure. It's fine, don't worry about the option. And actually for arrival, 23 left and see what we get. We're not going to put anything other than that, it's useful just to have the centre line. And then for the fixes, we want a beam point. 232 is left-hand circuits. So the beam point is going to be 90 off of that, which gives us 142, 322 the other side. So 42. I'm going to pop a 4 mile ring in just to give us an idea of how far out we are, and 10 if we need it. So put right hand in as well. We are going to be doing effectively whatever we want, hopefully. And that should show up on the map. It'd be nice to operate on the QFE, but we'll operate on the QNH. Happy days, there you go, you can see the aeroplanes filling up. So, to remind me, I'm going to put 052 course 2. And I'm going to put the ILS 4. There you go, so you can see there's the runway we were expecting.
Manchester traffic, Golf Yankee Oscar is 10 miles south of Dane for a Dane 2 Alpha arrival, 23 right, ILS approach Manchester. Current flight level 190.
So I am going to tune up 23 right for the ILS. So 232, and it's just going to be on standby. And we will use Toga, we will use the autopilot to get off, level off, turn down wind, and then start flying manually. So I think on nav 2 standby, so nav 1 standby 1095. So India Mike Mike 232, downwind ILSs can come off. On nav 2, I think we can have 355, which is the Manchester VOR, which, as you can see, I've got turned off there. There is Manchester. So I'm going to leave that tuned, which will mean it shows up on the standby. I've got it turned off on the D. No DME is shown either. 232. So that's set if we need it. Minimum flap is 1300. But that's going to be required for our departure. We're going to have airports on there. There's Barton up there. So, what have I done? Not a lot really. We've got the two runway lines. The takeoff one should disappear once we start going. We're then not going to play around with the map. We do need that centre line just to help us line up. We do need the beam point here for starting our timing. So we're going to take off the ideal circuits for the QFE, which leads to a downwind time. Start timing at this point, you're looking for 45 seconds after 30 seconds. So a beam, downwind you should be flap 5 with the M1 between about 55 and 60%. You can plus or minus the wind correction, which is going to be negligible, it's mostly crosswind. Or you can do plus or minus half depending on what it is. After 30 seconds, gear down, flap 15. And at 45 seconds, flap 25, and then you start with the left and descending. We need to put right hand for doing this runway. We can do that. I've got those noted down. It'll be 322, which you can see here, and then we just need to change that. In reality, you do that all by looking out the window, the beam, the other bits. But obviously, it's quite difficult to do that in the sim. Yes, I can glance to the left, but it's a little bit extreme. So those things help. We are going to use Flight Director initially, and then they're going to be turned off. So, departure will be flap 5, 23 right, we can take an intersection straight ahead, climb to either 17 or 1800 QNH. If it's 1700 we can reduce the timing ever so slightly. If it's 1800 we'll just go with it. Level off, turn the aeroplane left downwind, we'll probably use reduced angle of bank, just to get us that little bit farther over, and then disconnect everything when we're downwind, start flying the circuits, see how many of those we can get in. So let's tune ground, listen. Guess there's nobody on, it's relatively quiet. There's quite a few aeroplanes dotted about. So we can take Mike, we can take Hotel. We've got ample to get away with. We are still fueling. So, is there anything else left to do? Bravo. Then we can get voice ATIS 121975, let's see.
Manchester ground, good morning. Shuttle 6 star from stand 42, ready for push and start.
Shuttle 6 Alpha, hello, stand 40, push. Threshold QFE 1004. Acknowledge receipt of information, Charlie, and advise aircraft type on first contact. Manchester information, Charlie, time 1020 Zulu, automatic, runway in use 23 right, transition level, flight level 65, surface, wind 177, gusting 17 knots, varying between 100 and 230 degrees, visibility 10 kilometers or more, broken 2,500 feet, Broken 2,900 feet, temperature +11, dew point +8, QNH 1013, threshold QFE 1004. Acknowledge receipt of information, Charlie, and advise aircraft type on first con.
Good, it's good to see that those are working. So, happy days. I am going to mute 2 just in case, not that it matters on this side. So, QFE, we can set it, however, it's going to be different for that runway. And some of the 737s have a QNH switch. The only issue it's going to give us is that the ground logic is going to be wrong. So I don't think it matters.
Good morning, EZ59 Hotel Delta, stand 1 for push and start. EZ59 Hotel Delta, Manchester Grand, hello. Hold position, just traffic behind and get you moving, Charlie. Any worries at all, hold a position, EZ59 Hotel Delta.
Must be him then, mustn't it? So you need quite a bit of fuel. Just a fuel finish, I missed it. I asked for 15, we got 8 and 7, so yes, the fuel is done. Happy days. So let's get the APU started.
Shuttle 6 to Alpha, over to stand 42, ready for taxi.
Shuttle 6 to Alpha, Roger, taxi holding point, Mike 1, runway 22 right side, Juliet, Foxtrot, Juliet.
Juliet Foxtrot, Juliet holding Mike 1, Shuttle 6 to Alpha.
EZ59 Hotel Delta, giving way to the traffic behind, passing right to left. Stand 1, push back approved, face west, QNH 1013. After the traffic's departed,
ground to
behind,
cockpit, Joe is driving up.
Stand 1, 1013, EZ59 Hotel Delta.
So there we go, I'm going to set 1013 and just use standard for that. Oh no, that's going to make it off, isn't it? Set 1013, see how we go. So we can use electrics after a minute, shouldn't use APU air for 3 minutes. Actually, I think you can use it as soon as it becomes available. So pumps all on, iris is aligned.
Okay, all doors and hatches are closed, ready to
stay
connect.
there. And let's forego a bit of the realism, shall we? I don't know if I've got a spare button for the chrono. Would be quite useful. So we'll just wait until we're actually connected.
Shuttle 6 to Alpha, unfortunately nothing further, monitor Unicom 122 decimal 8, have a good day.
Thanks very much, continue your comm, Shuttle 6 to Alpha.
Okay, so I think we're ready to go. Manchester Ground, good morning. Prefect 99.
Prefect 99, Manchester Ground, hello, pass message.
Prefect 99, 737 800, stand 55. Information Charlie, QNH 3. Request push and start with visual circuits.
Prefect 99, no worries. Stand 55, push and start, approved face east. QNH 1013.
Stand 55, push and start, approved face east. Prefect 99. Stop for QNH there, never mind. So, we have been cleared. I think it was a squawk, but I am going to set that.
Ground to cockpit. Please show me where you want to
He
go.
wants us facing east, just because I think it's a bit too tight. Down there. Yep, that is. It's sort of northeast more than anything. Anyway, if we stop there, that'll do us.
So connected and bypass pin inserted. Release parking brake.
Good. I think everything that we need is running, so...
Starting pushback and you may start engines.
Happy days. So, packs off. Suppose we should have done the
Easy 59 Hotel Delta, overcut taxi. Easy 59 Hotel Delta, roger taxi, Holly Point Mike 1, runway 23 right, flying Juliet Echo, Bravo and Juliet. Juliet Echo,
somehow,
Bravo, Juliet,
I think
for Mike 1,
the
Easy
views have
59
come back
Hotel
on.
Delta.
Maybe they haven't. So there's 25, fuel on.
Okay, morning Manchester ground. KLM 301, aircraft A330, gate 306, requesting push and start. KLM 301, Manchester Scout, hello, Sun 306, push and start, approved face south, QNH 1013. Thank you.
Anyway, that's 2 started, nice and stable. 2, 4, 6 and 3. We're not worried about fuel consumption, so we'll start engine. Number 1. Fuel on. For N2.
Operation complete. Set parking brake.
Okay, brake is set to stable engines.
Disconnecting tows. Stand by.
So, waiting to see pit before we do anything else. Would have been a lot easier if we didn't have to do the push as well. That slows things down a bit.
Cell is disconnected and bypass pin has been removed. Hand signal on the left. We'll see you next time and have a safe flight.
Checking that the speed brake was up. People have been mentioning about passenger screaming sounds and people.
Easy 59 Hotel Delta, nothing further on Unicom 122.8, have a good day. Over Unicom 122.8, Easy 59 Hotel Delta, good afternoon.
There's the pit. Flap 5. We'll do that, then I will check the speed brakes at the end.
Easy 95 Alpha Bravo, stand 10, Easy 59 Alpha Bravo, Manchester Scan hello, stand 10, push and start, approved face south, QNH 1013. 1013,
My controls forward, full off. Left. Rudder. Trip set to idle D10. It's checked. Good. So let's try this. So maybe it's just the speed brakes being up and the power being applied and bringing them down. Maybe the sound doesn't kick off. Can we try that on the ground? Never mind. Not too fast. So we're not pointing at anyone. I actually need to move out terrain. Leave the other side off. So it's going to be heading departure, and we'll manage speed ourselves. Full taxi generators on, lights out. PU off, not required. Start switches are continuous. Anti-ice not required. Air conditioning packs auto, bleeds on. Insulation valve. Tow, flap 5 required, 5 set. Green lights. Stamp trim 5 required, 5 set. Start levers 2 idle D10. Flight controls checked, recalls checked. 2 taxi. Prefect 99 stand 5-5 request taxi.
Prefect 99 taxi holding point Mike 1 for 0823 right by Golf Juliet.
Taxi holding point Mike 1 23 right via Golf Juliet Prefect 99. So that's right, left, right. So this can come on. Brakes off. Conflicts checked. Let's get the airplane rolling. What's this guy waiting for? I should have been checking both sides. But now done.
Manchester ground, Charlie Hotel 916 radio check.
Yep, so it only does it with the throttle retracting.
Low readability 5. Delivery is available 121.7. Prefect 99, unfortunately nothing further. Monitor Unicom 122.8 CT.
Unicom 122.8, thanks for the service, Prefect 99. So, wait for this guy. $140, 55 green light. It's checked. Manchester traffic, Prefect 99 lining up, holding position, 23 right. No one's seen on final. Lights. Camera. Action. Always check, even with ATC.
Approaching
Saying,
2-3
so
right.
wake turbulence I think is 2 minutes for the same category.
Manchester traffic, easy 59 Hotel Delta Airborne, passing 2,000 feet, Manchester.
So 1800 we'll go for. See how we get on with that.
On runway 23, right.
In reality, never put the parking brake on the runway. I'm going to. Manchester traffic, Prefect 99, taking off runway 23 right and entering the left downwind runway 23 left, Manchester traffic. So we can get the ET going. %, self-cleared for takeoff. Stable, power, VATSIM, time. All pressure on the controls, large inputs on the rudder. Keep your hand on the throttle. Still E1. 80 knots. Checked. Relax pressure.
E1, rotate.
A bit of a gust there. Positive rate. Gear up, we can maintain flap 5.
400.
Bouncy.
1,000 to go. 1,000.
Wind shear.
Interesting.
Wind shear.
Okay, let's let the airplane level itself off. Might be a bit too much of a handful, to be honest.
Wind shear.
2,500.
Wind shear. Wind shear.
See, I'm not convinced that it's this bad in reality. You have to give this a miss. You can see we need to maintain track, and there seems to be quite a bit of drift. Stronger than we expected. I don't know if we put the arrival in, which is... well, we don't get the information.
Wind shear. Wind shear.
They
Wind
did not
shear.
like that. Well, this will be fun. So we want 0. Let's see how we go with 20 knots.
Wind shear. Wind shear.
Drift.
Wind shear. Bank angle. Bank angle.
There's an airplane that's all over the place. So start switches you normally
Wind shear.
pop
Wind
back,
shear. Wind shear.
get the brake off, flaps are staying down. Let's try about 165, see how we get on. Flap 30, pop that in, we should at least get our flap speeds. I think we might be a little bit close in. Maybe just a bit too much of a handful.
Manchester traffic, Golf Yankee Oscar established on localizer, runway 23 right, 10 miles to run, Manchester.
See, the wind is all over the place, and that's what's causing wind shear.
Wind
There
shear.
isn't wind shear.
Wind shear. Wind shear.
It rotates around like that. So,
Wind shear. Wind shear. Wind shear.
it's just the way X-Plane models it. Pretty horrific, to be honest.
9845, you on this channel?
If at 99 downwind, left
Wind
hand,
shear.
runway 23.
Wind shear.
Left,
Wind
Manchester.
shear.
This is just going to be too much of a handful to be honest.
Wind shear. Wind shear. Wind shear.
So there's 30 seconds. Gear down. Lap 15. You see the speeds all over the place. Up to 45. Lap 25.
Wind shear. Wind shear. Wind shear.
About 500 feet. Descent.
Wind shear.
Yeah, we're going to get that today, are we?
Wind shear.
Manchester traffic, prefect 99, turning final, runway 23 left. Manchester traffic. Flight director off. To the minimums. Well, at least 144. This turn up, this is pretty badly slow. And we're far too low at this point. This is a pretty horrific attempt at a circuit, to be honest. Oh well, maybe the next one will be better.
Flaps. Flaps.
25, gear down, fine. Start switch is continuous. Self-cleared to land. It's not really a good day, is it?
Flaps. Flaps.
Speed's going to be all over the place, as is everything else.
Approaching. 2, 3, left.
Wind shear. Wind shear.
We're just going to
Wind
ignore
shear.
that. Inhibit it in a minute.
Flaps. Flaps.
So gear down 3 green. Brakes not on.
Wind shear.
Lap
Wind
30
shear.
as we
Wind
come
shear.
in, carry through a little bit more speed.
Last station, first off, was that Manchester?
Wind shear.
Yes, Manchester. I'm seeing 5 mile final ILS 23 right, Manchester.
Wind shear. Wind shear. Wind shear.
300. 200. 100.
Wind
50.
shear.
40.
Wind shear.
30.
Wind shear.
20. 10.
Go. Stand them up. Reset the trim. Lap 15. Holding speed. Flap checked.
5,000 feet
Rotate.
remaining.
Positive rate.
Wind shear. Wind shear.
Positive rate.
Wind
Gear up.
shear.
400.
400. Flap 5. Climb the left hand turn.
Wind shear. Wind shear.
Hopefully that
Wind
will
shear.
off again.
Thank you for flying Ryanair. Last year, over 90% of our flights arrived on time. We hope you enjoyed
Bit of a
yours,
handful.
and we look forward to welcoming you on board again soon. Ryanair. Low fares, made
1,000.
Manchester traffic, Golf Yankee Oscar, final to land, runway 23 right, 3 miles.
Wind shear. Wind shear. Wind shear.
Can't even hear this guy. Stefan, hello. Come and watch some terribly flown circuits. So we'll break off, gear up, start switches we should do, but I'm going to leave them as they are. Let's see if we can get a hang for this. So into wind into wind turn when you've got a crosswind should be shallower. Get a decent bit of distance, which that's going to work today. They can maintain height, so how on earth are we going to manage anything else? 321, alright, it's a bit of a thump, but maybe look at the weather. So there we are, levelling off. I'm actually going to set that and get the track onto it. Power back enough.
Wind shear, wind shear, wind shear.
Manchester traffic, prefect 99, downwind, left hand, runway 23 left, touch and go. Just static, mate.
Wind shear, wind shear, wind shear.
It does model it, but just because the wind is variable and gusty doesn't mean there is wind shear.
Wind shear,
Yeah,
wind shear,
flat
wind shear.
15. Let the speed settle down.
Wind shear, wind shear, wind shear.
V3, flap 25. Start that turn. Just bracket the
Wind
speed.
shear, wind shear, wind shear.
We are a little bit too far out. So that rate of descent is significant, helpful. Manchester prefect 99, final, 23 left, touch and go. So we've still got far too high a rate of descent. Do we want to go to East Mids and see what the weather's like there? That's a little bit better circuit, but we've had quite a significant portion of level flight there. So gear down, start switches continuous, self-cleared to land, brakes off, speed brakes up, just holding on the landing flap, so we're slightly low, sure we can make that, flap 30, let's get the speed back.
1,000.
The airplane down in one piece.
Approaching 2, 3 left.
Got this guy taking off who clearly has no clue. Or maybe that was him with the static trying to tell us what was going on.
500.
I suppose we could add another 5 knots for the gust.
$400. 300.
Spectacular rate of descent. Let's not maintain that.
200.
Just static.
100.
Wind shear,
50.
Manchester traffic, short 2 Lima, short
20.
2 right.
10.
Long landing, long landing.
Get away with this.
7,000 feet remaining.
So stand them up. Reset trip. Flaps to 15, and once they get to
5,000
15,
remaining.
we got to full power, accelerating.
4,000 remaining.
Power, we're going to go full power as well.
3,000 remaining.
Let's rotate.
Positive rate.
Here comes up. Go back a touch.
400.
There we go. Lap 5, lower the nose.
wind shear, wind
Climbing
shear,
turn.
wind shear.
Just going to ride that out. as you can see, it's
1,000.
really wind shear, it's just speed going all over the place.
Wind shear.
Still a bit of a thump, but not bad,
Wind shear.
considering.
Wind shear. Wind shear. Wind shear. Wind shear. Wind shear. Wind shear.
Do we fancy just doing an eyeball down to east mids and seeing how we get on there? Seeing as even the autopilot's struggling. Oh, to a little bit of rain. So let's just creep in, shall we? We're also a little bit fast, so let's correct that, get the speed back. Deliver this with a solid 20. Manchester traffic, prefect 99, downwind, left hand, runway 23 left, touch and go. Shave about 5 seconds off there. And we're idle. And we're a little bit low. Let's go 20, gear down, about 15. Start that turn, and it should be a gradual descent. See the speed starts to come back. Should gently roll back to VAP. The relatively constant power setting vehicles all over the place today. Manchester traffic, prefect 99, final, touch and go, runway 23 left, Manchester traffic. And if it settles down to this, I can live with it. Go. All I'm happy is getting better. Shoot through the centre line just a little bit. That's okay. Start bringing the speed back just a touch. There we go, flap 30, gear down through increments, which is continuous. Self-cleared to land.
Approaching 2-3 left.
Still a little bit bouncy, but still can't help it too much. It's not necessarily the variable winds or gusts or anything like that. You should be able to write those out. It's the fact that the plane models the turbulence and shear effect in those transitions, which, like I said, just don't happen. Right. You know, a gust is just a gust. It doesn't mean
200.
Same with the variability. So a little bit low, but that's okay.
100. 50, 40, 30, 20, 10.
Long landing, 7,000 feet remaining.
Okay, stand them up. Flat 15.
4,000 remaining.
There's 15.
4,000
Power.
remaining. 3,000
rotate.
remaining.
Positive rate.
Gear up. Flap 5. Lower those to about 10. Climbing turn. Reduce the power.
Traffic,
1,000.
Okay, that was better. He's still running away, so power back. The aeroplane is fluctuating a couple of 100 feet. Wipers on, shall we?
Major traffic, some jet 856 heavy, landing up runway 23 right.
HS traffic, prefect 99 downwind, left hand, runway 23 left, touch and go. Start. Oh no, we are going to need those, aren't we? That's irritating. Distracting. So let's go 25 seconds this time. Knock 5 off the other side as well. Get back to 14. Get out. Flap 15. The airplane starts to
Major traffic, Tom Jet 856 heavy, taking off runway 23 right, Samba 1 Romeo departure.
There's 40, flap 25. Start that turn. Manchester traffic, prefect 99, final, 23 left, touch and go. Rate of descent's a little bit high. Squeeze the power. And if anyone thinks they can do any better, please feel free to come online and join us. No speed reducing there, just get a squeeze of power. Rate of descent's pretty high, which means we won't take landing flap just yet. The difficulty with the circuit is in unpredictable conditions, and it's just the variability.
Major traffic, Tom Jet 856 heavy, clear 23 right.
1,000.
should be on the pappies, but we're not. There we go, one's coming in, so we're going to go flap 30. Gear down 3 green, all brakes off. So starts with continuous. We have silver green to land.
Approaching 2, 3 left.
Going through that extra speed that we don't seem to need now.
400.
And we actually want to be a bit low just because the airport is well and truly off on this runway.
200. 100.
Definitely got those markings wrong, isn't it?
50. 40. 30. 20. 10.
So stand them up. That was on 352, was it?
5,000.
That didn't feel too bad.
Remaining.
Flap 15.
4,000 remaining. 3,000
Rotate.
remaining.
Positive rate.
Gear up. We're on 15 to stop speed getting away.
400.
Flap 5, allow the nose to 10. Climb turn.
$1,000.
Bring that power back just to stop it getting away. We're climbing 2,000 feet a minute. About 200 feet before. It's 10% actually. Start. Attitude, power, trip. Easier said than done today. See what weather's like it. East Midlands, light rain, 180 at 12, it might be a bit better, few at 49. A bit easier to head there. Let me see what that's saying.
Manchester traffic, Tonja 856 heavy, climbing flight level 120, inbound Samba.
Let's do one more and then head to East Midlands, see if it's any better there. It's set up on the way. No one to talk to apart from there's not online at Dublin. Manchester traffic, prefect 99, downwind, left hand, runway 23, left touching. So 20 seemed to work quite well, even though we haven't got much of a tail. I'll bring it to 35, flap 25. Flap 25, on the turn. Manchester traffic, prefect 99, downwind, left hand, runway 23, left touching. low. Let's about 3 because I think reduced. There it is. So get out 3 green, holding on the landing. Brake's not armed. The brake is off. Start switch is continuous. Clear itself for land. Flap 30, landing flap set. Felt a bit better, but this runway is not.
Approaching 23 left. Fell out of that with the ins being variable, not gusting but variable. All over the place.
50, 40, 30, 20, 10.
Reset trim. It's good to have a key for that, just because you can't see it like you can in the other. That's 15.
5,000
Power.
feet remaining.
Ref. Rotate.
4,000 remaining.
Positive rate.
Gear up.
$400.
5. Lower the nose. Start the turn. Power back a bit. And we're going to be departing.
Okay, 6 heavy climbers.
1,000.
Manchester traffic, prefect 99, passing altitude 1,400 to the zone to the south. So, which way are we going? Let's go 5,000. Passing flap up. That was a little bit messy. So, how quickly that's going. Set 240. Flight director back on. Decline. Go back. That's going mad. So that's going to get a CWS runway. Just wanted to get that in while we set 30. There you go. Just to stop the airplane going mental, you start to run out of hands. Not technically VFR.
1,000 to go.
Let's go a little bit higher, let's get above this.
$1,000 to
Do
go.
that then. So still 10 degrees, I was just about to put the anti-ice on. Now we better set squawk. 7,000. Let's try and keep it legal, shall we?
1,000 to go.
pricing the tops of these. Let's continue up to 9. Okay, let's have a look at charts for these mids. Let's do it, so look up the en route chart. I suppose we can choose. Go direct trend, really. I'm not keeping clear of cloud, that's terrible. It's all illegal. Don't work.
1,000 to go.
So direct to Trent. I know it's not VFR, but it's good enough. Are we just above the clouds? Might drop down in a bit. So give me those fixes. Don't really want this to show up. See, it does. I can't delete that. I don't really want to get into the line. Anyway, what was the weather? 180 at 12. That's not helpful because it's completely all across. Scores on. Where could we go? My trend is just ahead. I suppose Birmingham could be an option. Birmingham's a bumpy though. Do we want to go to Stansted instead? Here. Ideally I want to get down below these clouds. The dirty diving. Spree break, and we are struggling. To not be legal again. Maybe just.
1,000 to go.
Keep it going down to 3 then. So the bases were 5,000. Oh, that is a bit better. How are the frames doing? Actually still quite good for my legal flying. Terrain. Completely illegal. This is not a VFR flying tutorial. Incredibly badly planned on my part. So we've popped out of 4.
1,000 to go.
Let's head over Tollerton Way. Is that ahead of us? Hucknall. Oh, okay. Nottingham Tollerton. East Mids. So really, on a runway that has got a bit less crosswind. Let's check standstill out. 18013. Still 60 degrees across within it. So, it's a long way VOR. Okay, it's close-ish. I can actually live with that because that leaves it well and truly alone. Days. I'll discontinuity, which is fine. So 72 miles, that's not going to take long. 240 knots. I appreciate our ground speed is only 220. It's 4 miles a minute, give or take. So let's have a look at the charts for Stansted. Two is of course the runway. 042. The ILS for 22, which we're not going to use, but we are going to have to stand by 105. Is that easy? 1625. No other nav aids. did do circuits at standstill, what would they be before we left? They do a land after as well. Looking through the charts. Anyway, we'll go for standard left-hand circuit. So, 220, sorry, 222. Gigabyte 90 is 132. Yes, that's the right way. That gives us our beam point in knots for 15. See what that looks like. See the weather's clearing up. Yep, there's the beam. That's just the VOR, and you can see my estimate for blocking us direct to the airport is good. Amazing what you can do by eyeballing the charts. Going over here, sadly disused airfield. Wittering, I've been there. Cosmos does exist anymore. So a little bit of a transit. 1018 is the QNH. Shall we? There is scatter clouds at 2,500 at Stansted. The elevation is 348. So 1848, 1800 again. See how we get on.
To go.
Whilst it looks nice, it's difficult to stay on top of the weather and stay VFR when it changes as such. You can see that is interesting. So the cabin shouldn't be climbing. Set to 0. Don't think. I'll have to check pressurization on that, because we don't really want it pressurizing or cycling. There we go. Diff pressure to go to 0, and I want the cabin altitude to match. So I'm not sure, I can't quite see. I don't think it should be going. So that should be releasing. It should be dumping the pressure. Open the valve, let the pressure out.
Okay, so maybe the pressurization is a little confused. Anyway, this isn't really VFR nav either, not doing heading. Stopwatch the time, just eyeballing like a diversion. With a little bit of radio nav to help us out. Cambridge is down here. So there's Henlow. There's Cambridge, that should be Duxford. It's HJ Falmouth, I should know because I've been to Falmouth. Bourne, no, Bourne. But Granston, I don't know, those are KOs. So, Henlow, I've been to, Bourne I've been to. Cambridge is there. SU, there you go, there's Duxford, there's Falmouth. I've flown into Duxford, have been into Falmouth a couple of times. There's Stansted. Quick toilet break, check nobody's online. Inbound. Okay, so let's think about our join. We've got not that long to run. So we're going to go straight over family. I might just focus a couple of degrees. Actually going to plan for a dead side join. 300, so I'm happy to call it 1800 as our circuit height. We're in outhold, so I'm going to set that. Disconnected a bit. The autopilot is just a tool to make our lives easier. So 1018. It's over here to our left. Witten. Well, that doesn't exist anymore. No, that's not Witten. Witten's a bit further over. That's one. I forget the name of it. But you can tell Cold War stations. There's Witten over there. That doesn't work on that. Maybe I need to enable that pack because there's no runway there anymore. Let's get the weather from Cranfield, shall we? 017, so the airplane compensate for that in our hold. No, it's just going to hold it. fine, can live with that. No, the pressurization is getting worse. Ram door full open, that should be dumping. No, that's also not working. The cabin out is decreasing. Very odd. So with the ram doors full open, that should be jumping all the pressure. The diff pressure should be going to zero. The cabin out should be matching outside. How odd. I'm going to have to do some head scratching and think about that. Anyway, you can see the centre line. We're going to be aiming for a left-hand circuit, so dead side join. Probably actually go straight over Barquay, but we'll just do a little bit of a kink over the threshold at circuit height, join downwind, go in like that. See how that works. Let's come a couple of degrees to the right. But doesn't the skyscapes look good? So much better than the default. And a little bit limiting, but I've done a couple of tweaks. I think it looks pretty good. Oh, hello. That's a worry. Shall we go down to 3? That's the only issue, smooth transitions with active sky. Again, I'm sure we all know it's a main limitation more than anything. So 40 degrees off, 13 knots, gives us 2/3. It's about +8, +9. Oh, then it disappears again. Go 144.
Thousand to go.
There's no ortho. Have that loaded up. That's going to spoil things. So there is Duxford. Very difficult to spot anything without the ortho. Falmere is really close to Duxford. Yeah, it's definitely Duxford. Looks like Falmere, rather badly modelled. Tiny little runway, it doesn't really look like that in reality. Big taxiway parking up here.
maybe I could do some work on that. There is a hangar, and it is a fun little place. I was very impressed with it. This might be a bit of a waste of time, to be honest, if there's no ortho. I really didn't plan that very well. Might just do a circuit or two and then land, just because it's not going to look as good. So is anybody online? No. Stands to traffic prefect 99737, 810 miles to the north, positioning for a dead side join, runway 22 left hand, stands to traffic. Just about make the airport out over there, I think. So, let's get ourselves set up. About all we need. Still got a fair few tons of fuel on. We're going to go 144. So, four. It's going to annoyingly flash. So we can keep the airplane steaming in. We will have to slow down at some point. And we need to slow down and go down. Test in Singapore. Not going to get there in time. So we've got 1,000 to go. Stands to traffic prefect 99. 5 miles to the north, descending dead side join 22 left hand. That's the traffic. See them not very successfully slowing down. Just goes to show how slippery the airplane is once it's got some energy. Piloting 200 feet too low. I'll help bleed the speed off, and then we're going to look for flap 5. Overhead the threshold. Passing flap up, flap 1. Passing flap 1, flap 5. Let's get the airplane level. And you can see that it comes round quite nicely to power back in. Track 042. best join in the world, not the worst. Not really much to aim for apart from that wood. Stands to traffic, prefect 99, downwind, left hand, runway 22, touch and go. Well, the wind and weather seems a bit better. I think we can knock at least 10 seconds off. So gear down, 15. There's 35, flap 25, start turn. Stands to traffic, prefect 99, final, runway 22, left hand, touch and go. Descending, so let's get the nose down a little bit. Really off-putting not having the Ortho. Frame rate goes up quite a bit though, doesn't it? So we do need to descend at 2 to 2.5 degrees. Use that trend vector to just figure out the turn, whilst keeping an eye on the attitude, of course. So we're going to self-clear to land, a little bit high, let's go flap 30, bring the power back. And it might be a full stop after this one, just because I'm getting hungry. Very high rate descent.
1,000.
Gear down 3, green landing, flap set. The brakes off, speed brakes are on, starts which is continuous. We cleared ourselves to land. Be online. There you go, that's looking a bit better. Speed settling down. Just goes to show you how much easier it is with the more stable wind. Haven't heard this guy call up, so could be another VATSIM idiot. Stand him up. Give your airplane straight for a start, flap 15, reset the trim. 15 and go.
5,000 feet remaining. 4,000 remaining.
Positive rate.
Gear up. Flap 5. Start the turn. Bring the power back just so the speed doesn't get away.
1,000.
Probably do that at 400 to be honest.
Stand to traffic. Zap. Flight 2, Papa landing up. Runway 22.
Oh, good lad. I just didn't hear it. Anyway, there we are. Levelling off badly. This one. One to land. So we'll take order brake 3. Just because we can. Speed back a little. Maybe a little bit far out just because I kept that turn on. Prefect 99 downwind left hand. runway 22 to land, stands to traffic. My air flying's pretty abysmal at the moment. Definitely need to practice, maybe I'll just do some more practice later. So there's us at 0, 2, where's that traffic? There it is. So we'll go for 10 seconds again. So 35, 20. On the speed brake this time. Get the altitude sorted out early. 20 seconds, get out. Flight 15, the airplane's going to balloon anyway. And turn, there we go, we got the altitude back. Stands to traffic, prefect 99, final, runway 22, land, stands to traffic. So we might just be a little bit far out. Got to tell until the pappies come in. Actually looks okay. A little bit high. Bit full flap. Gear down, 3 green, speed brake on, rig set, start switches continuous, self grid to land. Oh well, these are a little bit better. Should have started off here. Rate of descent to get us down. Some speed to bleed off as well.
Approaching 2, 2.
If you do it early, you can make a smaller correction.
500.
Sort yourselves out.
400. 300. 200. 100. 50, 40, 30, 20, 10.
Reversers deployed.
knots.
Reversers stowed. Manual braking. Big flap up. Reset the trim. Speed brake stowed, no noise. But where is the handle? Up, but we'd still get the noise. Yep, that's the noise you should hear from the servo popping the speed brakes back in. Stands to traffic, prefect 99, runway vacated. And I think I should have updated 7010. I think we're just going to go down here and shut down, to be fair. So I'm getting hungry. So if you were watching, it probably wasn't the best tutorial for circuits. But hopefully you learned something nevertheless, even if it was what not to do. And I'm not going to replay anything, but what's left for me to do is say thanks very much for watching. And hope you can join me again soon. The pressure 0, very odd. So they were getting better, it was just bad weather, but that's my excuse anyway. Anyway guys, thanks very much. I'll sign off now and park up. Until the next time, bye for now.